Hey guys, Dusty here. Today I'll be giving my first impressions review on a brand new shoe to On, the Cloudsurfer Next. And before I get into it, I want to make note that this shoe does not replace the Cloudsurfer. This shoe actually replaces the Cloudgo. Now I'm not sure why On decided to call this one the Cloudsurfer Next, but I know even on some shoe review websites they have it wrong and are saying that this shoe does replace the Cloudsurfer. Just keep that in mind. This isn't a new version of the Cloudsurfer, it's actually a new version of the Cloudgo. Now let's get into my review. The Cloudsurfer Next is a neutral road running shoe. You're looking at what I believe is a stack height of 30 millimeters in the rear, 24 in the forefoot for a heel to toe drop of 6 millimeters. My men's size 8.5 weighs in at 8.95 ounces or 254 grams. Overall, the upper lockdown fit and feel of the shoe is really nice. The Surfer Next features an engineered woven upper. You're getting plenty of padding in the tongue and alongside in the heel collar. You have a bit of support for the heel counter. Overall, no issues. On usually crushes their uppers, and this one does fit true to size, and I would say width is pretty average as well. Oh, and for those of you wondering, yes, the insoles are removable. All right, now we move along to the midsole, and On is using their Helion foam. And this foam is set up in such a way that On likes to call it their Cloudtec phase. This style of cushioning is also seen in, of course, the Cloudsurfer and the Cloud Eclipse. And when you compare the Cloudsurfer Next to those other two shoes, this one is certainly going to be more on the firm side. It has a lower stack height. And for those of you that found either the Cloudsurfer to be a bit too squishy, a bit too unstable, or the Cloud Eclipse to be just way too much shoe, this one is going to be a much better option as it's a lot closer to the ground. Now the ride of the shoe is certainly much more firm than, say, the Cloudsurfer, but I still wouldn't call this a harsh ride by any means. The cushion over my first run did feel quite nice. I'm not sure if the shoe is going to be ideal for like a recovery day shoe, but for basic daily training miles, I think this one is really going to shine. I also feel like the shoe can probably pick up the pace quite well, but more testing to come, and then my full review, of course. And again, we're getting another On shoe that does not feature a speed board, so there is no plate in the shoe at all. It's still decently stiff, but there is a little bit of flex to it. Now, in terms of support, like I already mentioned, this is a neutral shoe. The base of the shoe is decently wide, although you can see it does come in a little bit in the midfoot, and I would say the shoe maybe has very mild support, but overall, if you know that you're someone who pronates and prefers a stability shoe, you're not going to get that support out of the Cloudsurfer Next. My running gait and type of support is definitely neutral. I have very mild pronation, and you can see in the slow-mo that my foot does pronate a little bit in the shoe. Overall, this isn't a huge issue. Just keep in mind that this truly is a neutral support shoe. Then if we look at the outsole, gone are the days of getting rocks stuck in between the cloud pods. You're getting a good amount of rubber on this outsole, and I'll be sure to update you after 100 miles when I do my full review as to how much wear there is. So my first thoughts after my first run in the Cloudsurfer Next, I gotta say it's been very nice to run with a shoe that doesn't feel like you have a couch on your feet. I wouldn't call this shoe ultra low on the stack height. The trends of running shoes these days are definitely the thicker the better. I would say this shoe for cushioning is kind of middle of the road. Their overall ride is firm but not harsh. I'm going to have to do more testing to find out exactly how the shoe will fit in my rotation, but at the end of the day, this is going to be a daily trainer for your daily training miles. I have a feeling this isn't going to be everyone's favorite recovery day shoe. A lot of people tend to want to go soft, high stack when they're running extra easy. And for me personally, I'm in the midst of marathon training, and for the bulk of my miles, I'm probably going to start rocking the Cloudsurfer Next. And lastly, we have price. The Cloudsurfer Next retails for $150 US or $190 Canadian. And it's too early yet for me to decide if that's a good price or not. I think yes, if you can get 700 kilometers out of the shoe or like 450 miles, then I think that's probably a decent value. And I think that's going to be it. You'll have to check back in probably about a month until I put 100 miles on the shoe, and then I'll give my full review. And if you have any questions about the Cloudsurfer Next, leave them down below in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. And like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.